Welcome back to a special finals edition of Shootaround. My name is Rosario, still with Coach Ryan Gregorio. And we have the big board out, so that means we're going to break down another play here between Barangay Ginebra and the TNT Tropang Giga. This one, very simple but very effective for TNT. This is the X's and O's. The big story in Game 3 was the fact that Troy Rosario came out to play for the TNT Tropang Giga. Coach, we're going to go straight into this one. Let's take a look at the replay right over here. Troy Rosario will run the break there. Jason Castro finding Troy, who just manhandles his way, going inside, taking advantage of the space that he had. Very simple play, Coach, but then a few things that you like from Troy there.
What is important really is understanding the kind of problems that you've been having from the field. Troy Rosario, we've been saying it time and again, struggled big time in their series against Phoenix. Only 6.6 points per game on a 10% shooting from deep. Then in the finals, in the first two games, 9.5 points per game, but only 1.8 shooting from the three-point area. So his basic adjustment was to go closer to the basket on a primary or even secondary option for them and try to seal a smaller defender down. So it was really a concept wherein take advantage of your height by getting closer to the basket.
Let's take a look at the board here, Coach, and you were very interested about where the other players were apart from Troy because that really helped him out in getting into position.
Usually in this kind of a situation, the first big man goes and runs to the rim. That is one way of helping your team. The other one is, look at the shooters on the side. Kip Montalvo can shoot that three. So that made Jared Dillinger play him a little bit closer because he might just launch it from deep. R.R. Pugoy just was scorching hot in Game 2. So every time there is an offensive play for TNT, he will always be defended. What about Jay Washington? Jay Washington has been lights out in this series, scoring a lot of shots and making from the three-point area. So you will see Japet Aguilar will just jog back, waiting for Jay Washington because he might take that shot from the outside. And look at the brilliance of Jason Castro, knowing that Troy Rosario will have an advantage against the guys who are playing the 4 spot for Barangay Ginebra. This can be Arjon Mariano or even Alvin Tolentino. So what Arjon Mariano will do is try to gamble a little bit on defense, and that is the cue for Jason Castro to dump it inside. 15 points for Troy Rosario in that particular game. 14 happening inside the paint. The lone point was a free throw off an end-one situation.
Let's take a look at the replay one more time. So Jason Castro there with the break. Take a look at where the other players, apart from Troy Rosario, positioned themselves. So you had the two shooters trying to nestle in the corner. You had the trailing Jay Wash, and then take a look at that. Mariano just wiped away by Troy Rosario for the easy bucket, evading Jared Dillinger in the process. And Coach, looking at this game in particular, you had a lot of thoughts about it. How do TNT Tropang Giga replicate some sort of a similarity in Game 4?
Well, they did their homework in Game 3, knowing exactly the way the two games were played in favor of Barangay Ginebra. So in Game 3, they did what we see were necessary things for them. Number one, they played tough defense. Barangay Ginebra was averaging 96 points per ball game in the first two games. And in Game 3, it was just down to 67 points. You've mentioned it, the lowest by far in the final series under Coach Tim Cone. The previous lowest was a 94-81 loss by Barangay Ginebra against Meralco Balls in the 2017 Governor's Cup. So that is one thing that they must do in order to have a chance once again in Game 4. The next one is limit the production of Stanley Pringle. Stanley Pringle scored 24 points in Game 1, 34 points in Game 2. He was averaging 29 big points in the first two games on a 45% shooting from the field. But in Game 3, only 11 points on a 4 out of 14 shooting or 28%. Thanks to Simon Enciso, who was just playing tremendous defense against Stan the Man Pringle. A lot of things have been said about Simon that he could not defend. He can just be a 3 and D kind of a player for Tropang Giga. Just shoot the 3 when open, but defend every single time. Number 3, they really needed to control the boards. The rebounding really was a great advantage for Barangay Ginebra. Take a look at again the numbers of Stan Pringle. We've said that 29 points in games 1 and 2, but only 11 points on a 28% shooting from the field in game 3. The next one, again, rebounding. 61 to 40 or 60 to 41 rebounding for Barangay Ginebra in game 1. In game 2, Barangay Ginebra again winning. 43 to 41 in game 3. Chance for TNT really to take advantage of the rebounding. For the very first time in the series, they finally won it. 46 to 44. Rebounding is a great barometer for TNT in order for them to have a chance in winning Game 4. The next one, assist. Barangay Ginebra averaging 25 assists in the first 2 games, but only limited to 17. What does that tell you? The 8 assist disparity is like 16 points if they just shoot from the 2-point area. But for TNT, really making it hard for Barangay Ginebra to play their own game, taking them out of their comfort zone. They basically did that in Game 3. Then finally, free throw shooting. This is one aspect wherein when you take a look at the numbers on its visuals, you will see, why is it that Barangay Ginebra is taking so many free throws and TNT is having a limited opportunity to go to the free throw line? The answer, because of their style of play. TNT would always shoot from the outside. In Game 3, they took a total of 43 attempts from the 3-point area. But in Game 2, you talk about free throws now. Barangay Ginebra went to the free throw line 38 times because of 30 fouls given by TNT. Now in Game 3, only 19 free throws attempted by Barangay Ginebra. A far cry from the 38 that they attempted in Game 2. As a result, it was TNT winning by a big margin in Game 3.
Rebounds, assists, Stanley Pringle. So much more notes there from Coach Ryan Gregorio there. That would be key here in Game 4. So now you have a bit of the barometer, the numbers to watch out for going into the next game. You can obviously follow the stats on pba.ph/play-by-play just to get a deeper insight on the numbers that are relevant, which is also a great plug for your other show, Coach. Numbers as well here
with
on
your father.
PBA Rush. With my dad. Of course, you know, the Del Rosario goes up and down in terms of quality depending on your taste. But Game 4 is up next. So keep it here on PBA Rush.